Hello, this short video deals with classification of a lease by lessee. Lease accounting including lease classification is covered by Accounting Standard Code 842. The correct classification of a lease by lessee is important as the classification of a lease determines how the accounting for lease needs to be done. Before we go on to discuss how the lessee classifies lease, let's understand what is a lease and who is lessee. Lease is a contract for a period of time between the supplier and the customer that conveys the right to control the use of the identified property, plant and equipment in exchange for consideration. The right to control includes both right to obtain substantially all economic benefits and the right to direct the use of identified asset. The supplier is known as lessor and the customer is known as lessee. The lessee at the commencement of a lease can classify the lease as operating lease or finance lease or short-term lease. Let's look at classification rules. The classification process starts with knowing whether lessee wants to apply the 5 distinct classification criteria. If the answer is yes, the lease may be classified as either operating or finance lease. To identify exactly whether the lease is operating lease or a finance lease, one has to study the lease contract and know whether minimum one of the 5 distinct classification criteria is satisfied. If the answer is yes, then the lease has to be classified as finance lease. Else it has to be classified as operating lease. On the other hand, if the lessee does not want to apply the 5 distinct classification criteria, the lease has to be classified as short-term lease. There are 2 conditions to be met for saying no to applying 5 distinct classification criteria by lessee. Those are: 1. Lease term must be equal to or less than 12 months and 2. There should be absence of option to purchase the underlying asset which the lessee is reasonably expected to exercise. Note that the policy election to treat lease as short-term lease can be exercised only for a class of underlying asset. The class may be identified by nature or function of asset. Now you may have 2 questions. How is lease term determined? And what are the 5 distinct classification criteria? Let me answer first what is a lease term and then go on to explain the 5 distinct classification criteria. Let this be the timeline for lease. The lease will have a commencement date and end date which will be mentioned in the lease contract. The period between the commencement date and the end date of a lease is normally referred to as contract term. The lease contract may mention the date on or after which termination option can be exercised. For determining the lease term, one should include a non-cancellable term before this date. Note that cancelable period with penalty which is more than insignificant should be included. The term between on or after which termination option can be exercised and end date of lease as per contract should be included in lease term if lessee has a right to terminate but he is reasonably certain he will not exercise termination option, or lessor has control over termination option. If lease term is extended, the extended period should be included in lease term if lessee has a right to extend and he is reasonably certain he will exercise extension option, or lessor has control over extension period. Let's look at 5 classification criteria which I mentioned earlier. The first criteria looks at whether ownership is transferred at the end of the lease period. The second criteria looks at whether there is a purchase option in the lease contract that lessee is reasonably expected to exercise. The third criteria looks at whether lease term is more than 75% of the remaining economic life. Note that this criteria is not applicable if lease term is equal to or more than 25% of the total economic life of identified leased asset. The fourth criteria is about whether present value of a leased payment together with guaranteed residual value is more than or equal to 90% of the fair value of the asset at the start of the lease. Fair value of the underlying asset in a lease arrangement is the price that would be received to sell the asset in an orderly transaction between market participants at the measurement date. The final criteria checks whether the leased asset is of such specialized nature that it is expected to have no alternative use to the lessor. Let me now discuss the discount rate that is to be considered for finding the present values. The discount rate to be used for finding present values by lessee depends on whether all the information to determine implicit rate is available or not. If it is available, discount rate to be used to calculate the present values will be implicit rate. Else, the discount rate will be same as incremental borrowing rate of lessee. The data required to calculate implicit rate are present value of lease payments, present value of lessor's expected residual value, fair value of underlying asset less any related tax credit availed by lessor, and deferred initial cost of lessor. The rate implicit in a lease is the rate that results in present value of lease payments plus present value of lessor's expected residual value equaling sum of fair value of underlying asset less any related tax credit availed by lessor and deferred initial cost of lessor. If it is not possible to compute the implicit rate with available information, one should use the incremental borrowing rate of lessee as the discount rate. Incremental borrowing rate of lessee is the interest rate that the lessee would pay to borrow an amount equal to the lease payments on a collateralized basis over a similar term in a similar economic environment. We just covered lease classification criteria by lessee. If you want to know more about how accounting is done for leases under each of these classifications, the difference between operating lease and finance lease, etc., consider joining our 6 months complete CMA training program. IMA gives candidates 3 years to pass the CMA test, but it is possible to pass the test within 6 months with Saral CMA training program. To know more about this, attend our free 1-hour orientation webinar. You may also consider taking free one-to-one consultation. Thank you for watching this video. Please find below our contact details. If you have already made up your mind to join the program, kindly do so by clicking the below link or visit our website for enrollment. We will see you inside the training program.